Hi everyone, welcome back to another watercolor sketching tutorials. My name is Gabriela from Tulip Art Designs, and on my channel here I'm showing you very fun and relaxing way of using ink and watercolor, how to sketch what you see around you, how to bring any memory on the paper, or how to just have a little bit of joy while making something with your hands, either in a sketchbook or on a loose sheet of paper. And today I want to show you how to sketch this. I really like the holy plant. I really love the berries and the nice shapes of the leaves. So I thought I should show you how to sketch this one. Let me just talk about the supplies. I think I will make a postcard out of this, and I'm using the Hahnemühle postcards. It's cold press watercolor paper. It has a little bit of texture, not that much as Archie's, but still it's a very nice watercolor paper to work with. And I really love that we have the lines on the back, so we can directly write and send out our postcard. And then I have my pencil and eraser for the sketch. I have my ink pen and Gelly Roll pen. The ink pen is Pigma Micron size 02, and it's very important that it's waterproofed. I have my Mary Blue watercolors, a few different sizes of a round brush. I have 10 and 4, but use whatever you have. And these are all the supplies I have and I will use. I think I want to just add a little bit of tape so my paper will not move. I will put small pieces on both sides. It's a washi tape, so it will not ruin my page, my paper. Okay, let's start with the sketch. So I'm using a pencil, and if you like to skip the pencil sketch, then you can check out my Patreon, where I share outline templates for every single tutorial I make here, or for the exclusive content there. So we will start. Imagine this is the center, and I like to sketch very light lines. I'm not sure, you don't really see very well. So I will go a little bit harder with my pencil, but you have to keep it light because we want to erase these lines after that. And then we will start with a few circles for the berries, and I will put them in my bottom left rectangular. So we start with one circle, and then we will add a few more, and we will just overlap them. So it works like a cluster of berries. And then the next one we will add, so where we have two berries, I will not start in the meeting point here of the two lines, but I will add another one, starting from like 1/3 of one berry, and then we can have one here, one there. So you could see how this works as a cluster of a few berries. And then we will make our guidelines. So one line I will do just like this. It's a curved line, and then another one on this side, and they have different lengths. So this one is a little bit shorter than this, and then this is the longest, okay? And then I will start adding these curved lines for my leaf. And if you find it easier, you can add the secondary veins that can help you draw the leaf. So the first ones, it's like a V shape that you are adding. And the first one is smaller, then bigger and small again. So basically in the end, on the both sides, you have smaller V's, and then in the middle, you have longer. And don't get this as a complete, you know, strong foundation. We can change it during the process, okay? So let's start with our curved lines again to see if we will have kind of a nice leaf. I think this is very nice. And then for the last one, oh, I missed one. Okay, let's just go back here. And where we have some parts that are overlapping, we have to erase one of the leaves. So we can see that one of the leaf is in front of the other. Then I would like to make 5 leaves. So I will add one more over here, and maybe one just here that is showing up behind these two. So let's try again. This time I will try without adding the helping lines, and you can see that it's definitely harder to make, but it's a pencil sketch. We can erase, so we can just go back and add the lines we like. I am sketching the whole leaf, and after that I will just erase the parts I don't want. So here on my pencil, I'm using the monograph. It has the eraser on this side, so this will make it quite easy to erase and clean up now my sketch. And then here, I think this is my main. Okay. Now we can add a few floating, flying berries here, like this. I think that's kind of okay. And then I want to, no, I will add the details directly with my pen. If you feel like you need more details with the pencil to make you feel comfortable, just go for it. I will go directly with my pen. The first thing I will ink is the berries. I am shaking a little bit my pen. I am adding a second line just because I really like the sketchy style. And I am adding thickness on the bottom and right side of each of these berries. And I will do that also for the leaves. So this really gives some extra deepness to our sketch, to our illustration. when I shake my pen, I get more natural lines, so it doesn't really look childish. That's always the key. Something like this. And then for our leaves, I will start from the ones that are in the front. So for example, this big one here. So we can now go back and draw some extra thickness to the lines. And if you go back and forth with your pencil, then you have a very sketchy style that I really like. Or you can definitely be more careful and add the thickness you like. Just get creative, okay? Then let's add this leaf. So sometimes you can definitely feel more comfortable drawing when you start with the main vein of the leaf. This really gives us some direction. And don't stress too much if you know it doesn't work the first time. Just try to have fun with this. Okay, let's draw this one. So here, where I have the other leaf in the back, I will just trim my lines. So this way I can see that this one is in the back and the other one is in the front. Okay, let's draw this one here. Okay, I again missed one of the, that's okay. You see this this point here, I just missed it. It's fine, it's fine. I am not stressing out for this. I know sometimes it's very hard. It took me quite some time to learn how to just let perfection go. But it's definitely more fun when we allow ourselves to make mistakes and just have fun and go with the flow and don't stress out too much. And then before I add my details, I want to erase all the pencil lines. I hope I can erase them well, but make sure that if you draw with your pencil, try to draw very light lines, so it will be easier to remove them. Okay, I think it's kind of okay. All right. Let's add a few details. I want to add some middle veins here, so I'm adding like diagonal lines, like this. I don't know why my light is that bright, so let's look here. So I'm adding this a little bit curved lines with different lengths and different distances in between. So I start from the main vein and then go towards the points here, and sometimes I add just one, sometimes two or three. Okay. Like this. And then for the berries, I want to add small details. So I will add some scribbles, just like this in the middle, or a little bit on one side. Or just on the edge. It's literally scribbles, okay? These are like these zigzag lines. Okay. And I think that's about my drawing. Let's add watercolor to this. I will use my brush size 10. I need my water. I have some jars over here, so let's pick one jar with clean water. And I forgot to mention that we are going to need a towel, paper towel, something like this to clean our brush. So let's get, maybe I actually have to move my palette here so you can see the colors. Still searching for the most comfortable arrangement on my table, but that's okay. Okay, so I am going to use 3 colors for this tutorial today. The first one is alizarin red. Let me just get my tubes so I can show you the exact names. Someone requested the names, so I really want, not this one. So I have a rose alizarin madder. That's the first color. That's the red I am using. And then I have green gold. It's this one, I think. Green gold. It's one of my favorite colors from My Merry Blue. And the last one, Hooker's Green. Okay. All right, let's put this on the side here, and I want to start by adding water in my leaves everywhere, like I want. So I didn't make this project on this paper, so it's gonna be new for me, but I will add water. I need a tiny layer of water so the paper is even wet everywhere. I don't want to have puddles. So if you have a puddle, you can dry your brush and just spread around the excess water you have here, the extra water. Then we go around. I try to fill only the leaf inside, but if I go a little bit out of my lines, or you know, I don't make it quite precisely, I am not stressing out about it. It's gonna be fine. When we add the paint, after that we can still change the shape of the leaves, so don't worry. For example, here I just see from the reflection that I went out of my lines. That's okay, it's gonna be fine. There are actually watercolor techniques that can make this even nicer, so no one will know if you made a mistake or not, because what the others think sometimes can keep us nervous and really make us not draw. Or at least this is what was happening in the beginning with me. But let me know in the comments if you feel such thing. Is it only me thinking if others will like it or not? Okay. All right, I think I have quite a nice watery base. So I will take my other brush and I will start with reactivating my gold green here. I am just dipping the brush directly here in my pan, so grabbing more concentrated paint because I already have water here. So let's see what will happen. I don't know if that's a good way. I am adding green gold all over the edges and one line in the middle, and then the paint just bleeds. It creates such a magic. I don't know about you, but this is so cool. I'm not focusing on the shapes or anything. I'm just following the ink lines. Around the edges I am dropping in the paint. I'm using only the tip of my brush. And then quick line inside. This is wet in wet watercolor technique, so it's a little bit of challenging technique, especially if you are a beginner, but it's so fun and it's so relaxing because I am not focusing on making flat and perfect watercolor washes. I'm just enjoying how this paint is moving around, flowing in the water, bleeding, and just creating nice different values of my colors. Okay, you can see that I have some darker colors here and some white spots. That's okay. I really want to have this. While it's still wet, I want to grab some of the Hooker's green and drop it in where I have the wet parts. So it's good if we work quick with this technique, so we can really enjoy how this paint is moving around. So adding some brush strokes with the darker green all around the ink lines. And I have my AC working right now, so my paint is drying quickly. For the wet in wet techniques, we would really like to have it, you know, to keep it wet for longer so we can play around with the technique. But even like this is already fine. The paper is very important. It's definitely nicer if it's cold press, and it's definitely better if it's 100% cotton. Then the paper can absorb more water, and it's, yeah, it can be definitely easier to work with. Now let's grab some red, and I will make the first circle. Then I will dip my brush in the water, wipe it on the side. So now the paint is actually lighter because it has more water. I will go and paint the other one. I'm not bothered if I'm touching my first circle. Then I will do the same, dipping my brush in the water, wiping it on the side, and just keep making the circles. This one, I will grab more red. We can drop in with our tip of the brush some paint if we want to bring different values for the color. Okay, I think that's it. I want to make some splatters, so let's start with some red. And just splash. So we are holding the brush horizontally and start tapping. It's a messy technique. I already have one splatter in my green leaf, so we can clean our brush, dry it, and pick it up like this. Let's grab some golden green, or green gold actually, and add some splatters on the other side. I am giving different you know, I am hitting my brush with a different pressure, so I get different sizes of all of these watercolor splatters. And that's with the watercolor. I want to dry it and just add a few highlights. Okay, why I want it to be completely dry is because we can ruin our pens if we use them on a wet surface. It's a little bit warm from the heat gun, and it's always better to wait for the paper to cool down in case we use the heat gun, because it might just dry out the jelly ink here. So now I want to add just a little bit of highlights. So where we have the darkest parts, we are going to add a line. Again, I am following my ink lines, so these are my main guides, and I am not redrawing everything, but just adding a few highlights. A little bit for the middle and, you know, the main vein, a little bit on the sides. It's an illustration, so we can't mess it up that much, okay? Just enjoy it. Like this. And then one more here. And then for the last one, if halfway your pen stops working, then what I usually do is work it out on my finger. Let's give a little bit of highlights for these berries. So I am adding one line here inside these scribbles, and then a half circle on the bottom and a little one on the top. Something like this is just enough. Let me take off this tape, and I have one card ready for Christmas. Like, it's a very nice one. I really hope that you did this also by yourself. If you need the outlines, they are available on my Patreon, so I will link it below in case you need it. And I am quite happy with this one. Yes, I hope you like this tutorial and you learned something new today. Thank you very much for being here. If you didn't subscribe yet, please do it so you will not miss any of the coming new videos. And I hope to see you in another watercolor sketching tutorial here. Bye!